Hi, I'm Joe with my wife Amy. We're Texas Tal. We're at Ray Roberts State Park on beautiful Lake Ray Roberts. Yeah, I got it right this time. In Pilot Point, Texas, which is about 45 minutes northwest of Dallas, and a few minutes to the northeast of Denton. Right, it's a beautiful state park. As you can see, lots of trees, lots of prairie. So come along. We got a few things to show you. This is our van. We named it Shen Shou, which is a Mandarin name for mythical beast, I guess loosely translated in English. My wife says that it's Shen Shou is something that comes from the ancestors in heaven to guide you, lead you, provide knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on your journeys, which is a very fitting name for this van. I actually wanted to name it after a few of the world, famous cowboys. Roger, Danny, Tony, Troy, Emmett, Drew. I went through the whole list of everybody. Dak, but my wife shut them all down. So then I was going to go ahead and just call it, the van with no name, kind of like a horse with no name. But my wife came up with a much better name. So we wanted sitting here in front of it, and I was seeing what we can do today, and I kind of want to show the van a little bit more, and give you a little brief little tour of it. I know I've talked about a lot. I haven't shown a lot of people what it looks like on the inside, just seen it from the outside. And actually, it's been about 10 weeks since we've owned it. We haven't done any modifications front end, only because we were at the point where we didn't think we knew what we were doing, and weren't sure if we were going to be able to use any of the modifications that we'd have put to this, because there's a lot of cool modifications people do, and we didn't want to waste our money on doing something like that if we weren't going to use it. So I was going to go ahead and show you what everything looked like, because there are two mods I'm getting ready to do, and only because they haven't come in yet, but they're on order. I wanted to talk about them, and I wanted to show kind of a before and after. And oh, hey, just on a quick note, I know we talked about this before. Amy actually set up a camp, right? So she did a good job today. She actually got it all done, and I didn't have to give her any real bunch of tips. So I think she's ready to start going out and doing a little small trips on her own. So here we are. This is the driver's side, right? So there's really nothing on the driver's side. This black box right here is the cassette toilet, and we talked about that before. That's really the black tank, right? The toilet empties into that. We pull the toilet out of there and dump that. And down below is the gray tank, dump valve and dump pipe, and that's where all the sink water goes to, like for the sink in the shower. All drains there. The toilet goes into the top box, and it's a big, like a big porta potty that comes out, and you have to dump. Over here, along the running boards, the pipe that you see sticking out of there, the little pipe, that's actually the exhaust for the diesel furnace that we have. Okay, and then we got the galley window open in the back window. As you can see, we don't have a bumper, we don't have a winch or anything on the front. I know those look really cool, and I'd really like to do that, but you know, in our 10 weeks of traveling, we haven't been in a situation where we need a big heavy duty bumper or a big electric winch, right? So we kind of decided we're probably going to stay away from that. So everything is still kind of stock, right? So we even got everything stock on the sides, right? One thing that we first did when we first got the van, and I guess it's not really stock, but we actually went and got the windows tinted. The front window, the windshield, the two passenger driver's side windows, and then the windows in the back. And it's Texas, right? So you need a good solid ceramic tint on the windows, a lot more than the OEM can do. So we never get our windows tinted OEM. We always do it ourselves. So I took it to a place that does the Formula One ceramic tinting. So the front is about I guess a 60% tint, whatever's legal in Texas, just enough to kind of get the glare down, kind of block a little bit of UV heat from coming cooking on you when you're driving the South Texas sun, right? And across the sun in the South United States. So that really made a big difference doing that. And then the side windows are the Texas limit of 30%. That really helps that sun coming in from the sides and cooking your face, side of your face and your arms, and actually giving you sunburn. And then we did 5% in the back, and I'll show you that. Nothing really new here on the side. Since the weather's nice, you can see Amy in there cleaning up from dinner. Is we got the roll screens down. So as you know, the 20. This is a 2020 Revel 2021 Revel on a 2020 Mercedes-Benz chassis. I gotta make sure I'm gonna remember that 2021 Revel. It comes with a roll screen, so it's a custom-made screen that kind of rolls up. The screen by the entrance door beside the galley rolls up, right, and it rolls down when you need it. So it's really cool, keeping the bugs out and lets airflow through. And then a couple things. I've had some people ask me about these chairs. So this is just a big chair that I got from Costco, right? And Dallas Cowboys, I got this, oh my God, years ago when Daniel was doing outside sports and swimming a lot, right? Got this chair, had it forever. I like it. It's really good, big, steady, sturdy. It takes a lot of room in the back, but it's well worth it. And just Costco. And then my wife bought this brand new newfangled fancy chair. It's from Costco. It is a Cascade Mountain Tech. I guess, and the whole thing about this is it comes apart and it folds up in a little tiny bag. And you put it back together, just clip it all back. It's magnetic with some bungees in there, and it works really well. And then my new addition is we've been talking about needing a patio rug, so we got the small patio rug. Again, we got it from Costco. What I see about Costco is they always seem to have what I need when we need it. I don't know how they do it, but they always do. So, this is nothing really different here. Another thing that we had to get is we got this little step stool, right? Amy calls it a Chaldern, which is basically a step stool. It's just a little step stool. I think we bought it from Walmart, Walmart.com. Heavy duty step stool, just to help get up in the van on the side of the van. Also, I use it to get in the back of the van because it's so high. We don't have a step. We just use that. We just tie it to the ladder when we're driving down the road, and it works good. So it's all good. A couple things I wanted to show you before we get in here, just on the side, because it's easy to show you from the side. Is you see this screen here has a magnetic hook here too. So I can just push it here, it opens it up, and then when you let it go, it'll go and it'll click back into shape and connects. It's a pretty solid connection, enough to keep the dog in the house so she knows that there's a door, right? That's pretty cool. So what I like about the 2021 Revel is they move the refrigerator outdoors. So we got the refrigerator here, and if you need something from here, like let's say you're hanging out and you need to get in and get a cold beverage, which for me is I guess it's what we got in some Sam Adams. Yep, on sale at Costco. They carry a whole case of it. Absolutely. So got that. The refrigerator is really easy to get here if you're eating outside, right? You just reach in here and get everything. It makes it all another easy thing to do. Also, another thing I like to do is, I guess this is new on the 2021 model. But if you come down here underneath by the running board, see there's a running board there. They moved a 110 outlet and a 12-volt outlet right here. Instead of plugging it on the outside of the van and having to cut a hole in there that have it rust open and be exposed to the weather, it's right here. And what I like about this is it's pretty handy to just plug into when you need some power outside, right? And then you don't have to worry about it being exposed to elements and no hole in the van rusting. So I think that's a pretty good deal. And then, the 2021 Revel has a drop-down table that has the cable to hold it level. The cable is adjustable, so you can adjust it with the angle of what the van is if you need to keep it straight. The old ones, I guess, the 2020s, 2019s, 2018s had a little metal aluminum pole that went down there that set up everything, and you had to set up the pole, and it was hard to keep everything level. So everybody was doing this anyway. They were tying the cable to it and using the cable instead of the pole. So I'm glad Winnebago did it. That worked really good. So as we come to the back, you can see our fancy trash solution, right? It's just get an old garbage bag and tied it to the back of the ladder. But you can see here is we got the 5% window tint on there, and I think that looks really good. It's nice and dark. It's hard to see in. You can't see out the back of it from inside the van too well when you're driving. But usually you use your mirror, your light, your side mirrors, and the blind spot detection. Usually when I'm driving, because you can't see out the back of it anyway with the ladder and everything there. So, but it keeps people from looking in, and I think it adds a little bit of mystery. Kind of cool, because you always see the stretch limos that got the real dark glass, and it kind of adds the same thing, right? And we got the barn doors open. And then I don't know if you guys may not have seen this. I don't see people show this a lot, but the cool thing about this is we got a roll screen. So you can see the black on here. I'll get up close and show you. It's actually kind of the shade screen, and it's kind of black on the bottom. The top up part has the shade. So if you can see up here where the screen is, that screen you can actually zip up a piece that covers it, makes it all black out, or you can zip it down so you can get some airflow through here. So I like it a lot. and you get this thing in here. It's really cool, right? It's here, and the nice thing is it's the same thing like the side, is you can pull it, magnet, right? It has everything in here. See, that's where the zip down piece, and then you just close it, and it's done, right? So let's talk about the back, because we're going to make a change to the back, and why we're going to make a change to the back and what we're going to do. Okay, so let me go ahead and close the doors. So on the driver's side door, I just purchased an owl van Sherpa panel in a large box. So if you're not familiar with a Sherpa panel, it's this metal panel that goes to the back of the door. It's kind of cut around the shape of the window. It's got a lot of holes and slots in it where you could attach accessories like, boxes. There's a bike rack that you can put on there vertical that goes vertically. It's got a lot of holes so you can like bungee cheers and stuff to it, I guess. I'm going to find out what all you can do with it. You can do a lot of cool stuff to it, right? So we're going to put that on there. And the reason why we decided to do this and why it's really kind of our first big mod, I mean, it's about $2,000 for the Sherpa and the box. And the reason why we put it on this side and not on the right side and got the bike carrier, the B2, the box and bike carrier version 2, is because, I don't want to have to go buy a new ladder. Okay, the ladder's there. It's there. It works pretty well, right? I mean, a lot of people don't like it, but damn it, I'm not going to pay another couple $1,000 just to replace the ladder. That's for one here that works perfectly good for me, right? So we're going to put the box on the driver's side and then see what we can do with the ladder. Maybe we'll change that later. I don't know, but right now we're going to put a box here. But a lot of our outdoor stuff is still in the back of the van, right? And by that I mean, the hoses, the electric cables, the extension cord cable, chairs, the patio mat, all that kind of stuff is still back in the garage. We need to move that out of there and put that on the back of the van, make it easier accessible, and then just leave the stuff inside the van for things that need to be inside the van. And if I need to put something big in there, we'll be able to do that. Also, I've measured that box. It's 30 inches high, and however wide it is, basically you can fit 2 carry-on luggages in there, suitcases, if you turn them sideways, kind of like what you set them up, kind of like how you put them in a overhead bin. They'll fit in there nicely. I shouldn't say this because Amy listens to the channel, but I want to put it on myself, right? She's a little hesitant about me putting it on. Well, because I got to drill a hole. You got to drill one hole in the van, and it's kind of above the Mercedes to the left of the divider of the door, just above the Mercedes emblem. You got to drill one little hole to put an anchor piece in there that holds the Sherpa, keeps it from pressing up against the door, right? She doesn't really trust me to put a hole in the van, I guess, since we paid $130,000, all that money for this van, put a hole in it, right? So, I really want to do it. She doesn't want to. So I told Owl that we'd probably just come there in July and get it put on. I'd like to do it sooner, but anyway. But I think the real reason why she she don't want to do this is right now we can park this at the house. The HOA hasn't said anything about it. I guess probably because it's kind of looks like a Sprinter van. And we're afraid if we start drinking it out too much, putting too many boxes of stuff on there, they're gonna start thinking it's a RV and maybe say something. We may have to move it. So we'll see how it goes. But if I can get away with it, and I'm going to tell John to ship the box from Alvan. Tell him to ship the box to me. I'm going to put the Sherpa in the box on myself. If I can't get away with it, I guess we'll just have to wait till July. And the way parts are, and the way everybody is about shipping parts and making these aftermarket parts for the Revel, it may be July before you can even get the darn box anyway. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. So this is the inside of our Revel. For the brevity of this video, I'm not going to show you guys everything in here because, there's 100 people who've done walkthroughs of their RV, and I'll just be doing the same thing they did. We haven't changed much in here. We're getting ready to change something, and I'll show you the things that we have changed. We have changed a few little things, but I'll give you the highlights. So one of the things that we did is this dinette seat. Right, so I love this seat. The cushion's really good and thick. The fabric feels really nice. The problem is when it comes stock, the damn thing is pretty slippery, right? You look under the bottom here, it's a cushion. On the cushion, they have this fabric. Whatever that fabric is, I'm not sure what it is, some kind of polyester. And then they have plywood under here, and you can see under the plywood, it's laminate, and the laminate's slippery, right? And it's slippery as they would say, when I was a kid growing up, it's slipperier than owl poop, right? So you'd be sitting on here trying to do some work, and the darn thing would just start sliding out from you, and pretty soon you're sitting on the hardwood, and it's like, that's terrible. So we had to figure out a way to come up with this. So my wife, God bless her heart, right? She tries everything. She tried just taking this off. We took it off and tried sitting on it with just like a regular little cushion. Yeah, that worked fine, but it was one of those outdoor cushions, and that outdoor cushion was still slippery because we're still sitting on laminate, and that caused some issues, right? So then, we got one of those little car seats from Costco with a gel bottom car seat. We sat on that. It didn't slip because it had silicone on the bottom of it, but the problem was it's so small you couldn't sit anywhere, and it's just an issue. So I was sitting here one day thinking, and I'm like, we got these great big silicone mats here, and nothing slips on a silicone mat. We used to live on a counter in a galley, and I could leave stuff on it driving down the road, making a turn on two wheels, and that stuff would be stuck to that silicone on a countertop. So I figured, why can't we put the silicone here and put the cushion on there? Well, you know what? We did it, and lo and behold, it worked really good. Problem solved. Doesn't slide. I know somebody told me once that they actually did a huge Velcro under there and Velcroed it to the seat. I mean, same principle. That works too, right? So you can Velcro it, use some kind of silicone, all that stuff. Another thing is this table, right? So a lot of people don't like the table. They replace the table because of the shape. Its shape, as you can see here. Let me stand up and see. You can see it's kind of oblong. Right, it's like a big oval, but I kind of like it. I mean, it's easy to sit a couple people in there moving around. It's good. The problem is you move it a little bit, it squeaks. So I got to fix that. Probably some WD-40 or some lithium grease or something on there will take care of that. And when we drive, I have to put it up here like that to keep it from making noise when we're bouncing down the road. Right, but it works good. I've actually done. God, my boss may be listening, but I've actually sat in here and done some calls from here and worked, and I've sat in this side with my laptop here, and I've actually turned the seat around and worked, and they're comfortable both ways. It just depends on, which way I feel like facing at the time when I'm sitting there. So that's, that was one big mod that were really cool about, right? And then another thing, the first thing we did is, of course, my wife, God bless her, had to put the mirror up for her. So we got a little tiny mirror from IKEA. I put it up there. I stuck it to the wall with a VHD tape, right? And that works pretty good. So she's got her mirror. And then the next thing I did, and this is just kind of hokey, but I got to show you something in here is, in the bedroom, we mounted the Max here in the bedroom just because I couldn't figure out where else to put it, where it wasn't going to be in the way. Then Amy actually said, hey, well, if we're going to be using this and we're going to use it at night when we're sleeping, why don't we just put it in the back? Genius. So we stuck it there, tape, and it works good. And she wanted a hook up here for hanging her stuff at night, some stuff. So I got a command hook and hook it up there. At first, the command hooks don't stick to these walls, but if you press on them real hard and you let them sit for a day or two, then they stick really good, right? So it worked out pretty good. So I'm going to do one mod in here, and actually I was hoping to have the mod done today before we came out here. But, when I ordered the parts from Amazon, it was like, well, if you wait till Wednesday, we deliver everything on Amazon day and Wednesday, and we'll give you $1 off in your next video purchase. I'm like, yeah, fine, whatever, we'll do that. So I think what we want to do is, and I stole this, by the way, from Facebook, is see these shelves in here are all really good, right? They're good solid shelves. Problem is, they're flat. Probably can maximize the space a little bit. And there's really only 3 of them in here. So, you got some good amount of room in here. But some people in the Facebook group says what they've been using is getting plastic refrigerator beds and putting the plastic refrigerator bed in here, and they hang out down a little bit deeper, and they're clear and you can see in there because you don't hear it. You got to look in here and say, oh crap, what do I have in here, right? So we have to look. So I ordered a couple extra brackets, and I ordered some plastic pins, and I'm going to put the plastic bends in here, and we're going to see how that goes. So I was hoping to show everybody that today, but I will show you that after I get that done. We're going to do that. That's one bin. So that's one thing. So the second thing I'm going to do, and I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do it yet, but I got an idea. I got to just go look for the parts. Is this? I like this cabinet, right? This cabinet's pretty deep. As you can see, it's pretty big, right? And it's like really deep in here. My whole arm goes in there, and it's good size. But the problem is it's kind of too big, right? So you got to have things in here to stack. So I'm thinking about doing is putting a shelf halfway through here, across here. That way we could have like a 2-layer shelf and we could stack things in it. And it'd probably make the space just a little bit more usable, and we can get a little bit more stuff in this galley. So yeah, I think that's good. So that's the two major, that's a couple of our little upgrades that we like in here. And then our two major upgrades that we're going to do the inside. And I think that's really it, other than the fact that, I keep telling Amy, we got to put some pictures in here, right? Or something, some wallpaper, some pictures. We got to start making this a little bit more personalized. But all in all, 10 weeks, we've been really happy with the van, and we would do it all over again. So now we finished up with a van tour, decided to eat dinner and take a walk down to the lake and try to watch the sunset before we go back. Get ready for bed. I'm going to take a shower, and then we're going to settle in for the night, maybe start a little campfire before we do all that. But anyway, I just want to say thanks for listening. So I'm Joe, on behalf of my wife Amy. Thanks for coming by. Revel on.